and welcome to Andy's Aspies. I'm Andy, and today I thought I would do, sorry creaky chair, I thought I would do like a story time because it was about a week ago. I had a really bad experience, and I just wanted to share this and kind of inform people about, that this is not okay. So, in my town, we have a Burger King, and I know that's kind of like a duh, but not every state has Burger King. So in our town, we have a Burger King, and it is in the Schofield Burger King, the one that has a playground. So anyone in my town, where that Burger King is, don't go there. So we went there, and I had a really hard, long day at work with my service dog and people being mean to us. And so my husband thought he'd treat me and take me out to eat. And so we went to Burger King with my family, and we had fake dogs coming into my store. I had to go do my taxes for my daughter, and there was a real service dog there, but it was just the fact of it was another dog, and I didn't expect it. And then we go to Burger King, and there is not even a fake service dog, just a pet on the table, eating from the table at this Burger King. So when I saw it out the window when I was walking in, and I was grateful I did, but this is one of my big triggers for me, is a fake dog or a pet that people bring in, because I don't know what they're going to do to my service dog. And so it's a huge trigger for me, and it usually sets me off into a seizure. And I have what is called silent seizures, and so I don't have the tremors, but I do have a seizure that's going on inside my body where I just kind of, it's like I pass out, but I'm still wide, like my eyes are open, but I have no idea what's going on or what I'm doing or where I'm at. And when I come out of that seizure, I just go about like it never even happened, because I had no idea it just happened. So that is what my dog is, part of her duty is to let me know the seizure is going to happen and to keep me from having that panic attack or that seizure. And I know they're two different things. I know this. I have both. And then she's also a diabetic alert dog. So anyways, getting back to the story, sorry, it's not exactly in front of me scripted, so I'm kind of like all over the place. My autism is kicking in. I just got off of work, so I'm kind of a little woo. So I apologize, but I need to get this out. So we go into the store, my husband and my family and I, and we approach the front desk and we talk to the cashier, and we like, are you aware there's a dog in your store? We thought you weren't a pet-friendly restaurant, not store, restaurant. And she said no, that she did not know the dog was there. And this is the only other customer out in the main part of the restaurant. The rest of the customers were in the playroom, which is way behind the restaurant, like behind the main part of the restaurant. So she's the only one sitting out there. There's absolutely nobody else there. So I don't see how she could not see the dog on the table from the register, but she claims that she didn't. And so we told her that there's a dog there. He's eating off the table. He's on the table. They didn't do anything. And we told the manager, we told another worker there. Nobody did anything about it. And in fact, a policeman came in who we assume was her friend, because they were talking like, they've known each other for years. And he saw the dog on the table and didn't do anything. So when no one was doing anything about this, it was a matter of like 5 minutes of me walking into the door, and I started going into a seizure. I tried, my dog started alerting me. I tried to sit down on the bench of the restaurant, and she was still alerting me, which is not normal for her. Usually that she can do LPT. And for those of you who don't know, that is called light pressure therapy, which is where she just has her front paws on me and lays her head on me. But that wasn't good enough, and normally if that means that, if that's not okay, if she's still alerting, that means I'm going into a seizure and I need to get down on the floor. So here I had to get down on the floor of the restaurant to keep myself safe, and she had to do DPT, which, for again those who don't know, is deep pressure therapy. And in her case, she puts half of her body, like from her stomach onto my legs, or if I end up passing out and going on the floor, then she'll crawl up to my chest, and that helps to keep me grounded. So no one was doing anything about this, and none of the customers were complaining about it, but you know, I went up to the manager later on, and I tried to be nice, and I asked him, when I pointed out to him that there was a dog in the restaurant, why didn't he do anything? And he said because the dog seemed to be giving this woman emotional support. That was a form of service, so he figured it was a service dog. Guys, that is not a service dog. A service dog is a dog that is trained to perform tasks due to your disability. Such in my case, my dog will scratch alert on my leg when my numbers are going too high or too low. She will jump on me when I'm having a panic attack. She will jump on me and, how do I explain it? She will jump on me and kind of like scratch at me if I need to sit down. And if I don't listen to that, or if it's getting deeper into it or worse and I'm about to have a seizure, she will shove me over, or continuously, if I'm already sitting down on a bench, she'll continuously scratch at me until I get to the floor. But if I'm standing, she will literally push me down to get me down safely to the ground, and because that's what she's trained to do. She's trained to guard. So when someone gets too close to me, she'll jump on my shoulders and guard. She will block, which is stand in front of me and keep people away from me and back them off from me. She's trained to pick up. She's trained to put away. She's trained to open doors. She's trained to retrieve my medication and remind me of when my medication is due, so I take it. That is what a service dog is. An emotional support animal is an animal that provides someone with emotional support when needed. Their only rights are to be in a house with non-pet housing allowances, and it was where they could ride on planes, but that is kind of up in the air now because they're thinking about changing those. So I don't know if that's still a thing, but that's what an emotional support animal does. They are not allowed in stores, restaurants, any PA or public access place. Only service dogs and trained service dogs. So when you guys bring in your fake service dogs, or when you guys bring in your pets that aren't trained, it's putting all of us at risk. And it's not fair to the ones who absolutely need them. I don't go even to a block down the road to my local Quick Trip without my dog, because I'm afraid I'm going to have an attack. Because I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know when my numbers are going to go too high or too low and make me pass out. There's many times I'm driving and she'll alert me to pull over so that I can go through whatever it is that I'm going to go through, whether it's a high sugar or a low sugar or a seizure or whatever it is that I'm going through. It's not fun to have these disabilities. It's not exactly fun to bring your dog everywhere, but it is a life thing. Like, she is my lifeline. She is my best friend, and I love her with all my heart. But she's also my lifeline. And I will not say she's medical equipment, even though that is a technical term. I just don't like it. But I will say she is my lifeline. She has alerted me and saved my life I don't know how many times. And she's only almost 2. She'll be 2 in a few days. Like, she's an amazing dog. And for you guys to bring them in because you want to, because you think it's cute, because you think it's fun, because you think it's nice, you have no idea what you're doing to the people who need these service dogs. When your dog isn't trained to leave other dogs alone, when you talk to our dog or pet our dog, or when I've had people tell me that I abuse my dog because I won't let them talk to her. That is not abuse. That is not animal abuse. Look up the definition of animal abuse. I don't beat her. I don't choke her. I don't hit her. I don't kick her. I don't neglect her or not feed her. I give her food and water. In the back of my job, when I go on, she goes outside to go potty every 2 hours. And then if she needs to go more, I take her more. And then I just stay a little later. If she has a bed in the back, a therapeutic bed, I might add, she has a cooling blanket and a heating blanket back there. She's got toys back there. I give her food and water, and my bosses give her treats every day. She gets a treat every day. That's her payment, is a treat. That is not abuse. That is a dog doing her job. Sorry, my alarm for my pills. That is a dog doing her job. No more than a police dog doing its job or a military dog doing its job. That is a dog doing its job, and she loves her job. She gets really upset if I get my stuff on before her because she wants to go and she thinks she's going to stay home. I get comments all the time about people, you have to understand that they're not educated and whatnot, and that you can't blame them for not being educated. Yes, I can. Educate yourself. I educated myself. I didn't go off and say, oh, I'm going to go pet this dog because I didn't know better. If I don't know any better, I'll say, I'm sorry, I didn't know, and then I'll stop. But people don't. You guys, you cannot touch her. You cannot make eye contact with them. And you cannot speak to them. That distracts them. And I don't care how well trained your dog is or how you think they're not distracting. They get distracted just the same as you. If someone comes to you in your job and you're in the middle of something and you're thinking and concentrating very hard, and they come and say, can you help me with this? They stop that concentration, and you get distracted from what you're doing and sometimes lose your thought. And the same thing happens to the dogs. And it is so, so important. You just make that we're like not even there. Like we're just somebody else walking down the street. It is so, so important. A lot of us have PTSD. A lot of us have anxiety disorder, and we don't want to talk to strangers. I didn't go around asking other dog handlers, how did you train your dog and where did you go and what did you do? I went online and I did my own research because I didn't want to talk to them because I have anxiety. I have severe anxiety. I didn't want to talk to them, and now I learned that most of them don't want to talk to you either, just because we're already having anxiety. That's why we have the dog. I'm all for training and teaching and educating, but I would much rather do it on camera like I am now and come to you guys and talk to you guys. But my point in the story was that nobody did anything until we called the general manager and we told him exactly what was going on and how unsanitary it was. I don't care if that dog was or was not barking at my dog. The point is, it shouldn't have been in the restaurant. If it was a service dog, I would have been totally cool with it because the dog was a well-behaved dog. It was the fact that it was on the table, it was being fed, and it was like on the lady's lap, wrapped up in clothes. It's no different than a dog being in a shopping cart. And no one did anything. And when I tried to educate the guy, he just yelled at me. The manager yelled back. And when I tried to give him an ADA card, he got really belligerent with my husband and my family, and it was not okay, and I won't go back there. And it just made my already really bad day to the point of me having a seizure attack. So I want you guys to know the difference between these dogs. A therapy dog is also different than these two dogs. A therapy dog is one that will help multiple people, kind of like an ESA, but instead of one person, it's multiple people, and they're allowed into like nursing homes and hospitals and libraries where they're doing a read-along or different events where they have therapy dogs, schools, but they're not allowed like just because you're walking in there. They're allowed because they're doing a program. They're doing something specific. They're not just walking along with you to help you. So, I really hope this helped for some people who were wondering or just didn't know, and that you guys can take something away from this, and that this helps people to know not to go to that restaurant with your service dog without looking first, because obviously they don't know and didn't care, but to also just take away from the much research I've done and the many I've done 2 years of service dog, but I've done like 3 years of research. So in total, I have like 5 years worth of knowledge here, and I'm just trying to help educate other people to let them know what it does to someone like me when I walk in and I see a fake service dog or a pet in a cart, and how it sets me off, and I almost always have a seizure. Or I'm being alerted to becoming a seizure and I have to sit down and get therapy. So, also, if you see someone on the floor with a dog, ignore them. Unless the dog is alerting you or coming to you, they're leaving their owner and coming to you. Or if you see a dog, a service vested dog with no owner, and they're wandering around and they're coming up to people, follow it. Tell them, show you, or find, or whatever. Everyone uses different terms, but do what you can to get the dog to show you where this owner is in trouble. But if the dog is laying on the owner, generally the owner is going through an episode of some sort, and they're going to be okay. And if you ask them once, okay, but just, if they say they're fine, believe that they're fine and leave them alone. Because otherwise you make it worse, and I know you're trying to help. So, and for me, in my case, it doesn't, I can't speak for everyone, but for me, it doesn't help. If you ask once, I'm good with that, but then just please believe me, I'm okay, and leave me be. Thank you for listening. I hope this helped. I will see you guys next time. Check it.